at the beautiful Fortnum Mason for London Craft Week. We're bringing you things all handmade, everything quintessentially beautiful. Stay tuned. Hi there, would you like to introduce yourself to the viewers at home?
Hi, I'm Bridget Bailey and my company's Bailey Tomlin.
So would you like to tell us, we're here at Fortnum Mason today, how did you come about having this workshop here?
I was on a mentoring scheme run by Walpole British Luxury. And they are wonderful craftspeople who've actually made it in business, and the idea was to get new craft makers together with these established designers so they could show us how to market ourselves and our products in a really special way that gives the special craftsmanship the presentation it deserves.
So in terms of Walpole, how did you go about finding them? Was this something you had heard about, or how did you approach?
It was something I heard about and I had to apply. So I had to do a business plan and have an interview to see whether they felt my skills and what I had to offer would be suitable for the mentoring scheme.
I see, okay. And how long have you been designing for?
I've been designing and making for about 30 years. So making, you hone those skills, but presenting yourself in the right way in business, that's something you never stop learning that, and often makers are not so sharp at business. So we really need professional help with that to get the marketing up to speed.
And in terms of, let's say there was a young professional who was looking to sort of go in your direction, what tips and advice would you offer them?
I think you really have to offer something very special if you're hand making things these days. I think there's a lot of stuff out there, all different price points. I think you've really got to think, what is the unique thing that I've got to offer that can make my things different? Maybe it's really small batch production, so it's something that would be under the radar of bigger production. You just really got to suss that out, and it's got to be marketed and presented as beautifully as it's made, and that is a really tall order, I think.
That's really great advice, actually. Thank you for that. Now we see you have these beautiful collection of insects and bugs here. What was the inspiration behind this?
Because I trained in millinery, I've worked with flowers for years, and in a way I don't know what took me so long, but I suddenly thought there wouldn't be a single flower without an insect as pollinating. They're a massive section of nature is these insects. So I just thought maybe a lot of butterflies have been made in millinery, but I want to make a beetle or a moth or a bug. I want to do something a bit more rare and unexpected and find a bit of beauty in something someone else hasn't noticed, so you get a double surprise.
So in terms of your millinery design, would you say both have sort of been married together through this collection now?
I think they have. I do. I think the kind of use of feathers in a special way, in a rather a textile way, that is quite a textile thing, looking at the iridescence and the surface quality, but maybe using wire and feathers in these kind of ways, very delicate, that's quite millinery. I think it is a marriage of the two things. But what's new about this collection is I'm making something that a man could wear on a lapel. That's a really special, different departure for me. That's really exciting.
That's really nice. And if you weren't a designer or a creative, what would you be doing?
Gosh, if I did have another life, I think I could be a very passionate gardener. Actually, okay. I think if I didn't, you can't do everything full on. I could garden around the world, looking at allotment gardening, not just the flowers, but really thinking about how things grow and the soil, how nature works. That will get me in touch with these things in a different way, and I will be giving it 150%.
Fabulous. Do you have any other upcoming exhibitions, or where can people view your work?
I'll think for a second now. I'm actually doing a really special show called Art in Action.
Okay.
It's at Waterbury House in Oxfordshire, and it's really all about special making skills. Because products are one thing, but I think these days the way things are made, just like it is with organic food, I think the whole backstory has become really important. People want to know how something's happened, as well as what it is. So it's sort of joined up thinking in a way.
Fabulous. It's been absolute pleasure speaking to you, Bridget. We'll have all the details on our website. Please do check it out. Thank you. That was great. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself to the viewers at home?
Hi, I'm Gemma K. Waggett.
Awesome. So you're here a part of London Craft Week. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the workshop you're running?
Yeah, so I'm a embroidered and printed textile designer, and today at Heels I'm running a printed textile screen print workshop.
Okay, great. And how did you become a part of that?
I studied textiles at the Royal College of Art and Centre St Martin's, where I focused on screen print and embroidery. So I've been screen printing for about 10 years now.
Okay. And do you have any collections with Heels? What's your affiliation with Heels particularly?
So earlier on in 2015 I launched a limited edition cushion range with Heels, which is currently for sale in store. So that's why they've sort of invited me in to come and do this workshop.
Okay, great. And what's usually your inspiration behind your collections?
For this collection, I was inspired by a 1986 graphical geometric stamp set.
Okay.
And I was also looking at the colour navy blue because that's my favourite colour.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I was looking at how the woven structure could be reinterpreted for sort of printed environments. So yeah.
Okay, great. So in terms of manufacturing, what is the initial process? Do you sort of have to have a large screen printing process, or how does it work?
No, I mean I work a lot by hand before translating digitally, and all of the screen prints are done by myself, all the cushions are made by myself, so no, it's very much sort of low-key production process really.
Okay, so fair enough. Say if someone wanted to get into the industry, what kind of tips would you offer them?
I mean really just do lots of sort of workshops, really sort of exploring how to create and really sort of gain an understanding of the subject you're trying to be interested in, like things like the London Craft Week, really promoting that. So yeah.
So how did you become a part of London Craft Week? Was that directly through Heels or?
Yeah,
Okay.
directly through Heels. They invited me to be part of London Craft Week.
Okay, and
So.
what's your experience been so far? How are you finding it?
Yeah, really great. I mean, it's just really lovely that people can just come in. It's really informal and just learn a little bit more about the subject. So.
Gemma, could you give us a demonstration of how it all works?
Yeah, of course. So today we're printing on notebooks. They're sort of easy to manage and quick to dry. And we're printing on them with a water-based pre-mixed emulsion. So this is my frame, which has already been exposed with my artwork, which can be seen here.
Okay, so that's printed on acetate.
Yeah, so my frame is coated with a fine mesh, which is coated with an emulsion, and then using my acetate, my design on acetate, I will sort of expose the artwork onto the screen.
I see.
Using light source.
Yeah.
So my artwork is on screen, ready to go. So I can line up my artwork and screen and notebook underneath.
So in terms of the emulsion, do you kind of do a thick coat or is it better to be thin? What's the structure of it?
Emulsion, you really don't need that much of it on the screen.
Okay.
You just would do sort of an even sort of fine coat, enough to ensure that no ink can pass through areas that you don't want them to pass through. So it's almost like you're sort of giving it an opaque coating, really.
I see, okay.
Yeah. So this is called a squeegee. And you can get varying types of squeegee depending on the surface that you're printing on. For example, if you're printing on textile, you might want to use a rounded end squeegee, but because I'm printing on paper, I want a relatively sort of sharp, flat squeegee. So this is a rubber blade.
Okay, rubber.
Yeah. So I'd like to hold the screen.
So we have Sanam here who's going to hold the frame
Yes.
whilst the screen takes place.
Yeah, usually in the studio, the screen would be on a hinge or on a weight, but we're just having to rely on manpower today to sort that out. So yeah, using two hands, I'll pull the squeegee towards myself,
Okay.
and collecting the ink
As you go along.
as I go along, yeah. So travelling from top to bottom. When I reach the end of my artwork, I'll collect and take it back up to the top again.
And what does that ensure? So it's even, or?
So yeah, until that I've just got a little bit of ink for my second pull. Just move down to the bottom. And if we can release. So that's not actually that good. So here's our finished print.
It's a special effect.
It's
Mirror
a special effect, yeah.
Great, okay, great. That's really good. I'm really impressed by that. Okay. So, in terms of screen printing, is that something you've always wanted to do, or is it sort of a growth that you went through?
No, so I learnt screen printing originally at college when I was 18, and I really loved it because I've always loved to draw. It was just a fantastic way of sort of transferring my drawn ideas into sort of a product or onto a surface, really, and sort of making a little bit more of them. So yeah.
So do you have any more upcoming exhibitions or workshops people can attend or view your
Yeah,
work?
so I'm actually exhibiting as part of Clerkenwell Design Week, which is in sort of 2 weeks, and I'll be as part of Editions, which is an exhibition there, which is curated by Charlotte Abrahams and Sit Select, so that's where I'll be appearing.
Okay, great. That's been absolutely fantastic. We're going to have all the links on our website. Be sure to check it out. And as you heard it here, she'll also be at Clerkenwell Design Week, so thank you. We are closing at Fortnum Mason in Piccadilly. We've been able to establish and speak to a few designers from London Craft Week. It's been a beautiful affair. Join Vanessa back at the studio.